Welcome to the Academic Woman Amplified podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Mazak, tenured full professor, mom of three, and firm believer that the culture of academia needs to change radically. Women are revolutionizing academia within institutions that were not built for us. If you're ready to reject the culture of overwork, kick guilt and overwhelm to the curb, and amplify your voice to make a real impact on your field without breaking down or burning out, you're in the right place. And it all starts with writing. Let's go.
The biggest complaint and concern that I hear from academic women is I don't have time to write. So in today's podcast episode, we are talking about 10 ways to make time to write. Now, if you want to get the 10 ways to make time to write as a really convenient PDF, we've got a link in the show notes so that you can download it and print it out and keep it there in your office. So let's get started with the 10 ways to make time to write. Number 1, corral your email. Yes, the biggest problem and time suck that many of us have is email. And here are some ways that we can start to control the amount of time we spend on our email, which is going to liberate more time in your schedule for writing. So turn off notifications and stop checking email first thing in the morning. Yes, I said that. The turnaround time on email does not have to be 5 minutes. In fact, according to me, it is 24 hours, maybe even more. Email is an asynchronous communication medium. If somebody needed to get to you urgently, they should be calling you on your office phone. So you don't need to check email first thing in the morning. Whatever has happened between last night and the morning can wait a few more hours so that your email doesn't derail your day. So the first way to make time to write is to corral your email. Let's talk about the corral part. The corral part means you need to draw a line around it. You need to actually block off a limited amount of time once per day to answer emails. If that makes you nervous, then block off 2 times a day to answer emails. But stop thinking that you can fit email in on the edges of your day. You actually should sit down and deal with it once, maybe twice, during your workday, not at night, not before you get to work, not on the weekends, and shove all your email duties into a confined amount of time. All right, way to make time to write. Number 2, create templates for common student interactions. We spend so much time crafting beautiful responses that are individual to each student, but really, we're just saying the same thing over and over again, or maybe the same 5 things. So save time by not reinventing the wheel and composing something specific to each student. Instead, create what we would call a copy bank of student emails, and then use that to copy, paste, and tweak. It's so much faster than composing an email from scratch. So, way number 2, create templates for common student interactions. Number 3, quit one thing. So find one thing, just one, that you can quit to free up some time. Let me tell you, you are doing too many things, so one of them can go. Take time today to identify one thing that you can quit, a committee, some other responsibility that you have said yes to. It's time to quit that one thing. Way to make time to write. Number 4 is practice saying no. When you're asked to do a new project, take 24 hours before responding. Practice saying no before answering. Ask yourself, do I actually have time for a new thing? And if you don't, then say no. Giving yourself time to respond will make it less likely that you're just going to say yes because you feel bad. Instead, go ahead and give yourself time. Don't respond right away. And then if it's a no, say no. Way to make time to write number 5, reduce the mental load of stalled out projects. So, half written articles take up a lot of mental space and time because you are thinking about, like, how am I going to get back to this project? It comes up, you feel kind of guilty or sad about it. You have to smush it back down. And all of that is taking up a lot of mental space and energy and thinking time. So, take one small step to either make progress on that stalled out project or forget it forever. So reduce the mental load on a stalled out project by either taking a step towards finishing it or saying, this is off my list, I'm not doing it at all. Way number 6 to make time to write is create templates of common writing projects. Now, the types of academic writing that we do is really field dependent. You write the same type of thing over and over, really. So why not create a template? A writing project template is a generic to-do list of writing tasks like make figures, read for the literature review, put in the journal format that you need. It will save you tons of time if you start with a template of tasks instead of starting with just a blank page. Way number 7 to make time to write is reduce wheel spinning. When you finally sit down to write, are you spinning your wheels trying to decide what to work on? Reduce this indecision by taking 5 to 10 minutes the day before your writing session to map out a plan. Then when you start, you can hit the ground running. We really want to try as much as possible to avoid that hemming and hawing. What should I do? Not knowing what next step to take. Try to eliminate that as much as possible. And it's really easy to do if 5 to 10 minutes the day before, the evening before, you're going to have a writing session the next day, you make a plan for yourself and then stick to that plan. Way number 8 to make time to write is put writing blocks on your calendar. If it's not blocked on your calendar, it won't happen. So block off your writing time and then keep that date with yourself. Treat it just like your classes. If you teach Tuesday, Thursday at 9 o'clock and someone wants to meet you at 9:15, you'd obviously say no. Do the same for your writing blocks. Those writing blocks are sacred. They are meetings with yourself. So honor and respect yourself and keep those writing blocks. Way number 9 to make time to write is to co-write. Sometimes we block off time to write, but let other things creep in and take over. If you co-write with someone, either in person or virtually, you are more likely to focus and use your writing time well. And finally, way number 10 to make time to write, and this is my favorite one, is rest. In other words, decide when not to write. Blocking off time to write in your week is important, but letting go of guilt when you're not writing is equally important. You can't write all the time, and you shouldn't try to. Rest so your next writing session is focused and on point. If you rest, you'll get more done in less time. All right, so those are the 10 ways to make time to write. I'm going to review them rapid fire with you again. Number 1, corral your email. Number 2, create templates for common student interactions. Number 3, quit one thing. Number 4, practice saying no. Number 5, reduce mental load on stalled out projects. Number 6, create templates of common writing projects. Number 7, reduce wheel spinning. Number 8, put writing blocks on your calendar. Number 9, co-write. And number 10, rest. Now, do you think that I could challenge you to just choose, I don't know, 3 of these things from the list and try to do them this week? They will enhance your writing practice and remind you that making time to write is within your control. It's something that you can actually do. So take action by doing one of these 10 ways to make time to write today. Now, I want to let you know about a really exciting upcoming opportunity, and that is your opportunity to enroll in our course, which is called the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap. It is going to be open for enrollment soon. If you want to make sure you get all the information, then when you click in the link in the show notes to download your 10 Ways to Make Time to Write PDF, you will get on my email list. And on the email list is where we're going to be announcing some really exciting and value-packed upcoming activities. And these include my signature webinar, which is called How to Write More Without Big Blocks of Time. I'm going to be doing that in April. Also, I'm going to be re-hosting, I guess, or reprising again for 2020, my really popular summer writing planning webinar. That's also coming up a little bit later in April. And then in the first week of May, we are going to be running the Summer Writing Challenge. And at the end of the Summer Writing Challenge will be your opportunity to enroll in the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap. So the next 5 weeks or so are going to be filled with lots of fantastic free content. Make sure that you're in my I Should Be Writing Facebook group. Make sure that you're following the Kathy Mazak Coaching Facebook page, where I'll also be doing live videos and where some of those webinars will be piped over into Facebook Live as well. So you're going to want to be putting me on your email safe list so that you can get all the information about the upcoming free webinars and the Summer Writing Challenge that is going to make this summer the best writing summer you've ever had. And if you're interested in enrolling in the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap, we are opening enrollment at the end of the Summer Writing Challenge. So go to the show notes, download the 10 Ways to Make Time to Write PDF, get on my email list, and don't miss any of these fabulous free trainings that are coming up in the next 5 weeks.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time loving on yourself and your writing by listening to this episode. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join the over 7,000 academic women in the I Should Be Writing Facebook group. Just go to facebook.com/groups/I Should Be Writing or search for I Should Be Writing inside your Facebook app. See you inside.